Guys, so if you haven't noticed, this is a Chelsea show at the moment. So I'm not going to apologize to people in the comments talking about England. Listen, we've been there, we've done that. If you want to see the reaction for England and, the team that Gareth Southgate has put out, we have done a show on that already a couple hours ago. So please go back and give that a watch. Today is the day you see me and you see the rest of us. You see the likes of Jem, you see the likes of David, and you see the likes of Daniel go crazy. Now, I'm seeing in the comments already, people are telling me to shut up. Well, you're going to be in for a shock because guess what? This is the Chelsea show, baby. I'm going to be here for the full 1 hour. So anyway, welcome back to that Chelsea show. I'm sure a lot of you have missed us, but we are back and we are better. And I am accompanied by the best people in the Chelsea community that I can be with at the moment. So before I even bring them on, I'm going to need all of you to hit the like button, please. Make sure that you share this video out as well to any single Chelsea fan out there. And you know what? Share it to the rivals too. You guys are lucky I'm not bringing Monster on, because I'm sure a lot of you in the comments owe Monster a very big apology. You see this? Chicken ticker. That is what I like to see. Champions of Europe. We know who we are. Listen, I'm going to tell you for free. I am late. I can see you guys in the comments saying I'm late. I am late. I hold my hands up. It was my fault. I went to get a slushie. We're going to have a good time. I don't think you guys understand. We're going to have a good time. Let me go through some of you guys' comments and see what everyone is saying before I bring people on. Once again, please hit that like button. Make sure you are sharing it out. Make sure you are sharing it to your fellow champions of Europe, like myself, like Jem, like David, like Daniel. And let's get this show cracking. You see, things like this. Mannequin Beast. I think that's how you pronounce it. Mannequin Beast. Chelsea, small plastic cup compared to United, Liverpool, and Arsenal even. It's come to my attention, well, David brought this up backstage, that we only need a couple more trophies to reach Arsenal's level. And I'm not being funny. In the last 17 years, we have absolutely dominated United, dominated Liverpool, and most certainly dominated Arsenal. So none of that energy here today. So guys, let's keep it positive. Sammy's saying Kepa is a UCL winner. A lot of people put him under scrutiny, including myself, including the boys at the back. But guess what? I don't really care. I don't really care. If he's a Chelsea player next season, he's still a Champions League winner. If we sell him next season, he's a Champions League winner. A lot of people, you can't say that about your goalkeepers. So it is what it is. Thank you. Listen, without further ado, I'm actually just going to get the rest of the panel on because I feel like today is just a day of celebration. And if I'm going to celebrate, I can't sit here and celebrate with myself. Like, I love you guys in the comments, guys. Keep your comments coming in. Keep your super chats coming in. And keep hitting the like button. We are now on 500 people watching, which is amazing. Within the first 4 minutes, I'm gonna tell you, there ain't no other show like the Chelsea show. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring everybody on and we are gonna discuss, because today we are all on smoke. So Jem, what you saying, bro?
Just want to start by saying good evening to all my Manchester United and Arsenal fellow fans that are in the chat right now, all them salty guys. Yeah, good evening to you. Champions of Europe are currently here right now. So yeah, just saying.
Good evening, guys. Good evening. David, how you doing, bro?
I believe the words of the song should change to, it's not we're the only team in London with the European Cup. I believe it's we're the biggest team in London with 2 European Cups. I believe that's the way the song should go now because, 2-0, isn't it? 2-0. It's not looking good for them, man, over there. No Spurs, Arsenal, Brentford, Welling, any of these, man. We're the biggest team comfortably now.
Big facts. And last but not least, Daniel, what you telling me?
What are you saying, man? I had to, obviously everyone's had their intro, so I might as well say Chelsea now. we're the key ingredient, but we stay out of the mix. We don't debate anymore with the small clubs. We're just the key ingredient, and we stay out of the mix. We don't even involve ourselves anymore. We're too big for it now. Too big for it.
And just jumping off of that, I don't want to hear who's the biggest team in London no more. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear London's blue. I don't want to hear London's red. I don't want to hear nothing. London is Chelsea. London is Romans. Yeah, we own London. Everyone else, you're just living under our umbrella. Like, literally, London is undoubtedly blue. But anyway, I feel like we haven't had it all out yet, guys. Are you guys still gassed about the Champions League final, or is it just me?
I hope you know I've watched the highlights every day. Every day. I watch the highlights.
Before I even close my eyes and go to sleep, the last memory I have is us winning that game and seeing Havertz run around the goalie and score, and then I close my eyes. You know,
I'm telling you, if I'm honest, it's only starting to sink in. I'd say today was the day where, because I had a bit more work to do, it started to sink in a bit. Like, cool, we're champions. But the first however many days it's been crazy. I've watched every highlight, every post-match reaction, every pundit speak about Chelsea. Like, I know we're gonna dive into it, but the disrespect that they put on our name before the game, like as if City had already won it, raising it up like this is the pinnacle of Pep's project and everything to do with that. Like, I'm happy we did it, man, and I'm proud of my boys, man. Like, I couldn't be more excited about the team that we got, bro.
Exactly. In fact, and you know what? Let's even start on the scrutiny that the pundits gave us beforehand. Yeah, I'm talking about the likes of even Gary Lineker. I'm gonna call you out. Like, you lot were all telling us that this is definitely City's to lose. But Jem, talk to me. Why exactly do you think City messed up in a Champions League final? Where was the big mess up for Pep?
The way they set up, it was madness. I was sitting in Holloway Road with Prime, Slens, Lambs, right, and we see the team lineups come in. I'm not going to lie, the Chelsea team lineup looked pretty much bang on as to how I wanted it originally. It was perfect, so I was happy. Massive tick next to that. And then I see Man City's lineup pop up, and I'm like, is there an admin error? Have they done something wrong here? What is Gundogan doing as a DM? Like, what? I don't get how you can play Gundogan. Who was it? It was Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, and Foden, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. That was their three in the middle. Yeah. That against N'Golo Kante and Jorginho doesn't make any sense. And for me, from what I got of what Pep done there, I thought he overthought the situation. I think in the second game when we played him, he had a Rodri in there and it didn't work. And I think he thought to himself, if we're going to win this game, we have to get the first goal. So to get the first goal, I'm just going to throw out all the attackers that I've got available and hope we get the goal, because he knew that if he got the goal, we would probably struggle to get back in the game. Let's not lie. You only got to see for the first 20 minutes what Timo Werner did, that we struggled to score more than one goal anyway, and we would have needed two to get back at that point. So I think he went with that attitude, and it completely backfired on him. And yeah, man, we took complete advantage. We should have been 3-0 up by half time. Yeah. It should have been, you know.
And speaking of should have been, listen, I'm not trying to point out to no names or nothing, but Timo Werner, he was meant to be on the end of those couple of chances that we did miss. But I'm not gonna go into it just yet, because David, I can see you. I'm not gonna go into it just yet. Like, positivity for now, because we're gonna talk about players coming out, and we're gonna talk about the players that we need in, and Timo Werner's name is gonna be in question. But before we continue, let me just go to this super chat really quickly from Zotta Stevens. LFC is a much bigger team than Chelsea, but CFC give their win. Still have a long way to get to LFC. Listen, Zotta, with all due respect, I don't care. I don't care how many Champions Leagues Liverpool's won. I don't care how many Premier Leagues or league titles you guys have won. I don't care. Chelsea are the latest team in England to win the Champions League. So right now, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Right now, Chelsea's on top of everyone. So I don't care. Don't care. Thank you for your super chat, however. But Daniel, Jem touched on Pep overthinking it and not playing the two CDMs, right? Let's get a bit technical here, right? What was the advantage Chelsea had in Man City not playing those two DMs that they usually play in Fernandinho or Rodri?
It's simple in my book. Like, I think it comes down to the underrated factor. It was the fact that we had beaten them twice already. Like one thing Arsene Wenger said in one of the other pre-match presses, or one of them introduction things that pundits do, he was basically saying how you don't know how 2 defeats against the team that you're going to be facing in the biggest game of both teams' season. You don't know how 2 prior defeats is going to affect them. And it definitely affected Pep in the way that he wanted his team to be set out. It definitely affected him in the way that he thought he could counteract some of the things that we had. And I think I touched on it, and I said I wanted to go into it. Like, I get that Pep did overthink maybe in not playing Fernandinho or Rodri, but I mean, he played Fernandinho in the FA Cup, and I saw Mason Mount do him, tear him apart. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He played Rodri in the Premier League game, and because we had more runners in our midfield, I saw Rodri, especially in that second half, go from left to right. So it wasn't a guarantee either that they were going to win, even if they played that CDM. That tells me that we played the perfect game. We were better than them. In every single department, we defended better. I thought our midfield played better in terms of keeping the ball, knocking it sideways. I know they had more possession, but the possession was 55%. When it comes to Man City and Chelsea now, I think the possession factor becomes a non-entity because we know how to keep the ball and we know how to use the ball effectively as well. And we create a lot of chances. So I just think that when it comes down to it, Tuchel has shown himself to be the tactician between the two of them. 3 defeats. And the thing is, everyone was saying, remember before we faced Man City, or when we knew that Man City were the team we were going to play in the Champions League final. I don't know if that was before or after the FA Cup semi-final. Yeah. But everyone was saying that you can't beat Man City 3 times in a row. It's not possible. And true. Every person who was saying that, there was no footballing reason as to why. It was just because it's Man City, you can't beat them 3 times.
It's written in the
law of averages.
Law of averages. That's very true. But at the end of the day, look, this Chelsea team showed us that, they gave us a mouth to talk, and that's what we want as fans. We want to be proud of our team. And that's what this Chelsea team did, man. They went out and showed up, and fam, I couldn't be more than happy with the team that we got.
You know what? You said something interesting. I didn't want to be shameless and say it, but fam, you said Tuchel has shown to be the better tactician of the 2. Now, David, you warned us about this, bro. You warned us about this. How satisfying is this for you, knowing that Tuchel got 3 over Pep?
I mean, before he came to England, he'd never beaten Pep before. So, I knew coming into it that he'd be a lot better than people give him credit for. I was very confident in that. When it comes to Pep, I don't really like to talk about it because he is a magnificent tactician. He's a different world when it comes to tactics. But I just think because Tuchel's kind of built his game, and he says it all the time, he's kind of built his game on Pep's kind of football. He kind of knows the ins and outs of it. He knows the holes in it as well. And every game that we played, we've exploited it the same way. Just try and get in behind, stretch those centre backs, and create space through the middle, and then not outrun the midfield, but find the pockets that the midfield will eventually leave because they have to try and track somebody. That's what he's best at. And our defense has been the best defense, especially in European competition. Maybe not in all of Europe, but definitely in the Champions League and all the European competitions, we've been by far the best defensive team. 4 goals in the whole, and that's including Lampard tax as well.
It's 4 goals.
That's including Lampard tax.
Literally, apparently, all the 4 goals we've conceded, we've only been behind for 5 minutes in total. And 5 minutes in total.
If you really want to deep it, if we didn't lose to the Porto, we'd have gone unbeaten the whole Champions League. Literally, from start to finish. If we didn't lose that Porto game, which we still went through. If we just wouldn't have lost that game, we'd have drew that game.
But either way, if City beat us, they would have gone unbeaten too. So we stopped their record as well. So either way, I ain't mad at it.
But this is what I'm saying though. There was all talks. We stopped City 3 times. We first of all stopped them from doing the quadruple. Then we stopped them from winning the league title to us, which I thought was good psychologically for that team as well. And then we stopped them from doing a version of the treble. So the only treble that Pep saw was Tuchel beating him 3 times. That's the only treble he saw. You know what I'm saying? No, literally, and the thing is, look, the reason why I'm so harsh on Man City is because of all the hype that was given to them this was supposed to be Pep's big project, the culmination of everything he's done since he's come to England. Just excusing the fact that we had played Real Madrid, we played Atletico Madrid, we played Sevilla, who are all tough teams in Spain, who've all done well in their own right. And we beaten all of these teams, wiped the floor with these teams. And really and truly, look, fair enough, cool. Everyone's had injuries along the way in their processes. But I said that, what's it called? The Man City team faced PSG. Fair enough, first leg, 2-1, nice. Second leg, they didn't have Mbappe. But PSG was Man City's only test throughout the whole tournament. They played Mönchengladbach first. Then they played Dortmund without Sancho and Axel Witsel. So we never really got to see City get tested. And the first test, in my opinion, real test, like fully fit both teams against Chelsea, they failed. And if we be honest as fans, I know you were nervous, but they didn't really threaten us. Like if you deep it, it wasn't really threatening. Apart from one last ditch challenge from Rudiger. I don't remember a clear-cut chance they had.
Go on, Jem.
You know yourselves. I wasn't even scared. Everyone, I know there's a lot of Chelsea fans that are very like, oh no. I knew when Chelsea are the underdogs.
The last 10 minutes when Foden was moving.
No, I'm talking about the build up to the game, not the game when it had actually started. I'm talking about the build up to the game. But everyone was very nervous. Everyone I was speaking to on Twitter, on streams, was saying to me, "I'm shitting myself. I really am. I just don't know how we're going to do this. I really, blah blah blah." And I said, "Why?" I went, "All the pressure is on Man City. They're the ones that need to go out and win it." I said, They were the favourites. Like you said, the pundits, they gassed them up so much. It was to the point where it was like they were expected. You might as well just handed it to them. That's how they were talking about it. Do you know what I mean? And Chelsea, as a rule, have always played better when they're the underdogs. We're not good with pressure. Trust me. But when it comes to being the underdogs, we're good. We're good.
But that's what he said he put into the team. That's what he said he put into the team throughout the whole week. Like he said, he played on the underdog factor. He told them, with the underdogs, like you guys need to perform like out of your expectations. And that's why we were so angry about the FA Cup final performance, because we know that this performance is in this team. Do you know what I'm saying? We're capable of rising to the occasion. That's why we were so annoyed. And look, at the end of the day, look, we could still be annoyed about the FA Cup final loss, but I mean, they won the big prize, so we can't even complain, man.
Literally. And listen, before we go on, Daniel Femi, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Really appreciate you. People, when you sign up to become a member, like it does us a whole lot of good. So keep signing up, keep smashing the like button, and make sure you subscribe. Now, listen, before we get it cracking, everyone in the comments who is a Chelsea fan, I ain't spoken to you guys in a while. I haven't been on the terrace since we won the Champions League. Now I want you lot to tell me who your man of the matches were. Like if it was Mason Mount, if it was Reece James, if it was Kante. We're gonna go into it on here, but everyone in the comments, make sure you tell me who your man of the match was. Now, Lamin Saho says, "Yeah, sex is cool, but seeing your team lift the trophy is a close second." Jokes aside, let's pay homage to.
Jesper Gronka.
I don't know how to say his name, but let's pay some homage if that's what y'all want to do. But me, I didn't really know that era too tough. So, would anybody like to? No. He got
the goal that got
he slipped. He slipped. He actually slipped, and as he slipped, he hit it with his left foot.
I remember the game. And we got apparently Abramovich was going to go Tottenham, innit? So that goal basically got Abramovich.
I was too, so it was peak. I don't remember.
Yeah, no, like literally, I was young. Like my dad don't even know the story. So big up to him. And also, Arjun says, N'Golo Kante is love. Kante is life. No English fan should be mad if he lifts the Euros. Greatest DM in football history. No arguments. Anybody want to argue on this panel here? Let's go. Anyone?
He's not a DM, but he's the greatest, whatever he is.
I hate when people say this. Why? What is he then? Because
he's not a DM. He's not a DM.
As a DM. This is what annoys me.
He actually didn't.
Yeah, but explain his role.
When he came from Leicester, when he played for Leicester, Danny Drinkwater was deeper than him. So that if Danny Drinkwater was deeper than him, then Kante clearly was. Kante is a centre midfielder. He literally, if you played Football Manager, you have the different roles. You've got the deep line playmaker, you've got the anchor man, you've got the defensive midfielder, you've got the central midfielder, you've got the box-to-box midfielder, and then you've got one other thing. He's literally a central midfielder. Like, he does both sides of the game very, very well. I just don't think he was a DM, and we even saw it. Yeah, fair enough. Under lamps, there were a couple of games where he started playing well on the DM role, but then when the system started to get exposed, you could see that he wasn't a DM. Like, maybe it's because of the centre he was paired.
When we won our first title, when he first came to Chelsea, we won our first title. One of the biggest things that they brought up was how well he protected the back four. Like, if you're protecting,
remember who he played with?
Yeah, but he's playing with
Matic. He had Matic him as well. I remember
who won the Premier League.
Yes,
protecting the back
he
four
was
as
more.
well.
But what I'm trying to get at, the Chelsea players spoke about him more, about what he gave to to each and every game, but how well he protected balls coming in, spaces in the box, clearing balls away. So for me, I get the whole box-to-box situation, but he also did a lot to protect the defence, which is why I would say,
if I'm to sum him up in 3 words, he's a progressive defensive midfielder.
Hard.
That's the best I can describe. Like, he's a defensive mid in the way where he makes tackles and can win the ball, and he's always pressing. He's fantastic. But one thing that really goes underrated is his ball progression. The amount of times he gets the ball and he will either drive. I think his passing is really underrated. This thing of all he can do is win ball and then he just gives it off. I think his passing is really underrated. But his ability just to drive past people, just skip round them, is so underrated. And that's how I describe it. He's progressive defensive mid. But now we're getting into defensive strikers, and now we're not that team. We're not that team.
I was about to say, let's not do it. Let's not go into all of these defensive this thing there. We're not that team. Listen, Kante, he's just one of the best midfielders we've seen in the world. And in this conversation between us 4 here, a lot of people in the comments are saying Kante was their man of the match. I also thank you, Sage, for becoming a new YouTube member. I appreciate it. Who was your man of the match? I'm going to start with Jem. Jem, who was your man of the match for the UCL final?
All of them. I just thought they were all it's hard to beat it because I thought they all played so well. Like, you look at, maybe Timo Werner, but even Timo Werner was making good runs and creating spaces and not putting it in the back of the net. All right, fair enough. But, Havertz, for me, was out of this world, and the runs he was making, the ball control, the turn, the drive, the setting up, the win, the balls in the air, the holding of the ball. And then you go to Ben Chilwell, and I don't think people really deep how well Chilwell played that game. Every time Sterling got down the other wing and he whipped that ball and it went over everyone's head, and it looked like Morris was about to get on the end of it, it was Chilwell that was getting in front of it and clearing it. Do you know what I mean? And matching the runs, which was so big. Rudiger and his performance as well. I'm not going to say it was it was a man of a match performance, but he had a great game. He did knock KDB out on the floor, didn't he? Give him a black eye, unfortunately, which took him off the pitch. Unfortunately, but they were all good. Mason Mount with the ball, you can't knock the setup for that goal was world class in my eyes. They were all good, Anita. I really can't. Kante deserve. I think the thing with Kante, you go into that Champions League, and if he's not on that pitch, and it was Jovicic, I wouldn't say we wouldn't have won. I don't think we would have won it as convincingly as we did, because you just look at how much the interceptions, the way he covers the ground, the way he just blocks runs. The tackle we done on KDB in the first half when he was playing with.
Who was he playing with them? Who was he playing
Jorginho, yeah, no, but
give Jorginho his flowers.
Say his name. Say his name.
Worked, especially against Man City. So yes, you're right, Daniel. He played very well, but Kante was immense, and they all were for me. They just all was.
Did you just say Jorginho played very well?
I thought he had a very, very good game as well. Yeah, he did. I'm going to give it to him.
Hallelujah. David, who was your man of the match? So Jem has given an explanation for everybody.
Yeah,
it's this guy. It's that guy. Yeah.
What happened, man?
I remember walking into the Sports Direct. It was like an August day. We had just signed him. Day after, I went in the shop and I went, "Get me Havertz on the back of my shirt because this kid's special." And I knew from that day, I was like, this guy's going to do something mad for this club. And when he was, under Lampard, he was struggling, and people were like, "This dead guy, waste of money, all this, that." And I was like, just wait in it. I know what's coming. I know. I'm so confident in this guy. it's ridiculous. And then when he rounded the keeper, he put it in. I was like, that's my guy. That is just. I'm sorry, that's my guy. I'm so happy. He brought me joy. He brought me joy. I'm gonna cry. I feel like I'm gonna cry. He just brought me joy. Like I'm giving it, and the run as well in the second half. And Pulisic really should score, but that run, it was just like, it was so good. And I was like, next season, once he gets comfortable and he gets someone in front of him who will take a bit of attention away from him, because teams aren't focused on Vern. We're going to see something. We're going to see something different. But yeah, honorable mention to Reece James, to Kante. Chilwell's performance, as Jem said, it goes really underrated simply because I remember when he was at Leicester and they played City, and he absolutely just Mahrez cooked him.
And that's what people were using to judge him comfortably. Yeah.
So comfortably, and then on Saturday, just lock. Everything was locked, no chance. Rudiger, fantastic. Mason's pass was fantastic. Jorginho went missing the whole game.
Say that again. No, wait.
Do you know what? No, before you say it again, we even have a super chat here just for you, David.
I said
David promises mouth agenda ends.
I said if he scored the winning goal, then my agenda would end. Unfortunately, he didn't score the winning goal. However, in the past 2 games, I have not shouted at Mason once. Do you know how impressive that is? I shout at everyone. I haven't shouted at Mason in 2 games in a row. That is a record. I'm very impressed.
Talk about the player, man. I don't care about.
He was very good. He had a Tuchel Mason Mount performance where he does all the cool tricks into it. But on top of that, output come. With Lampard, it was cool, but output was, it was lacking. Yeah, he popped up against Fulham and so on, but it was lacking overall. Since Tuchel's come in, I don't think anyone can deny it's been the best Mason Mount we've seen all season. I don't think anyone's going to sit here and tell me that is a lie. Because even though, yes, he's played technically, percentage-wise, he's played less minutes than he did under Lampard, which I said would happen. I also said, though, under Tuchel, become a better manager. He become a better player. And he became a better player. I don't know why people think I have an agenda. Everything I said
agenda.
True. It came true.
I don't know what people also said that he wouldn't get as many minutes.
He didn't have as many minutes as a percentage-wise.
Yeah, but he's also played the most.
Daniel, we're not going to do it with David.
All right,
We'll leave it there. Do you know what? We've got a whole season.
I gave him these props.
We've got a whole season next season, and I'm going to need you to buy him personally those flowers. Next season, when he bangs, I'm going to need you to get those flowers and stand here with those flowers like you're about to marry him. Daniel, who was your man of the match? So we've got Kai Havertz. Jem practically named the whole team. Who was yours?
No, it's easy, man. It's Kante, man. That's I know Havertz played well. David's gone into the Chilwell, RJ, everyone, to be honest. But Kante, man, that's the best. That is one of the best midfield performances I've ever seen from a player. When Kante starts driving through the midfield, you just start smiling. You get excited. He's just some little guy running through. There were 2 tackles he made that I just said, this guy is just too.
The De Bruyne one.
The one on De Bruyne, where he
and the ball
out and recovered the ball. That got me excited. And then also the tackle on Mahrez, where Mahrez cuts in. You think he's gonna get a shot away or something. He just gets that foot out. He's just that little, that little kid, like your little brother when you're playing football, and he doesn't want to have energy. He's just there. He's always bothering you. That's what Kante's like. But then he's also got the ability to just transition from defense to attack. He's just so good, man. And that's what I'm saying. If obviously England winning the Euros will be good for the vibes. We live in England, but I really hope France do win it, and Kante plays a big role in that, because even though I think Lewandowski should win the Ballon d'Or based on the facts and what he's been able to do, I think Kante will win it based on the narrative. Ballon d'Or is a French award. I think Kante will win it, and he deserves it, man. I think Kante winning the Ballon d'Or as well, for Chelsea fans, that gives us a lot of talk as well, considering Owen and Ronaldo have won it for their club. So yeah, man.
Is that something that we genuinely believe though that can happen? So do we genuinely believe that this Kante that we're seeing now? Remember at the start of the season, a lot of people were saying Kante's past it. We need to sell Kante. Let's get in other players. Blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna name names or anything. But all I'm saying is, does this season amount to him getting a Ballon d'Or for you in particular? I know you think so, Daniel, but David, what about you?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I really want him to. I do really want him to. Unfortunately, Lewandowski is owed. He's like literally owed a Ballon d'Or, and he broke Gerd Muller's record of 4. He scored 41 league goals in 28 games. 40. That is ridiculous.
You know what it is? David, I even agree. But the reason why I'm saying that I believe it's a narrative award is because, one, you look at it like this, Lewandowski didn't even win the Bundesliga Player of the Year, which, yeah, he got robbed. Haaland shouldn't have won it, but he got robbed. So you didn't win the Bundesliga Player of the Year. You won the the basically done Bundesliga before it even gets started, because Bayern are always going to win it. So he isn't really judged by that. Champions League, they get knocked out in the quarterfinals. Yes, he was injured, but he gets knocked out. And when was the last time the Champions League Player of the Year didn't win the Ballon d'Or? Like, I can't remember the last time that happened. And I think Kante is going to win Champions League Player of the Year. So I don't know. Like, it's a narrative. The narrative favors Kante.
If they had one last year, no, I'd back it 100. But my guy's got, like, when you look at the 2-year like catalogue, like you can't compete with. You can't.
He deserves it. Let's be serious. Let's not take it away from Lewandowski. If he wins it, it's award.
Exactly.
It's based upon merit in my eyes. He does. I get Dan's argument though, and that sounds bad, but I kind of sway into Dan on it as well. I actually think if you look at it based upon Champions League winners and who wins the Ballon d'Or based upon after that, it's usually a Champions League finalist, someone that's performed at the highest level, and he's done that in every big game of the Champions League. Real Madrid, the Athletic, all of them.
When was the last time a centre midfielder won man of the match in the both legs of the semi-finals, one leg of the quarters, and the final? That's
exactly
crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It's mad.
Crazy.
It's mad. It is mad.
Listen, Chronic Space Dust, we see you. He says if Kante has a good Euros, he's sure to win the Ballon d'Or. Just like Daniel said as well. I personally think if he has an amazing Euros, there's absolutely no way you cannot give it to.
Does that mean he has to win it?
If he scored the winning goal in the Euros, I'm on the train. I'm on it. I'm on the train. Kante for Ballon d'Or, because that would be another trophy that other clubs.
Why is it always having to score the winning goal, David? Can't you just
he's gonna get the assist. No. He's gonna get the assist.
Because the thing is with Kante is like he's not a personality. Yeah, we all love, like, Kante's a vibe, innit? He's a smiley guy. No matter what happens, like, the guy's always smiling, but he's not. He don't have a personality really, so he's gonna need something that's like really gonna make him stand out. And be like, this is why I should win it. A couple good people respect the tackles, like, but when you got a guy scoring 41 goals, like, how many tackles do you have to make to equal the goals? Like, it's a ridiculous amount. So he's got to have to do something so, like, it's like so un-Kante like, which is amazing. That's what will make him win it. But
we'll said so on Kante gets the Ballon d'Or because he's Kante. Man said you should do something on Kante. Like, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. How many tackles does he have to make to equate to 41 goals? David, come on.
I'm like, it's 41 goals plus a season before of a sextuple and another like 30 goals in the league. And
I hear you though. I do hear you.
Struggle. It's a real
the
struggle.
Ballon d'Or is based upon people that score the most goals. You look at Messi and Ronaldo; they've always been at the top.
Look at Modric.
Yeah, you know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Modric was.
You rarely see a defender win it, or have you ever seen a goalie win it? I don't think a goalie's ever won it.
No, Leviashin won it like time.
Oliver Kahn.
No, he hasn't.
Essentially,
Oliver Kahn, when it was split, between World Player of the Year and Ballon d'Or. I believe Oliver Kahn won one of them in 2000.
He would have won Player of the Year because only one keeper's won Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, probably Player of the Year. But let's keep it stepping. Kante for Ballon d'Or for me. My man of the match personally was Reece James. A lot of people are really skipping over what Reece James did to Sterling. Like, even though Sterling had a fugazi season already, Sterling, he looked so out of pocket because of Reece James. The tackles Reece James, the runs Reece James was making, my God, Sterling. At one point, you'd think, why did we ever call this guy world class to begin with? Reece James, he put on a world class performance. And that's the reason why there was a whole debate on what right backs go to the Euros, because Reece James had to be on that team sheet because of his performance in the Champions League final. So he was my man of the match for me. But obviously, honourable mentions to everyone in the squad. Everyone played really well. Artem says Kante was the best player of the tournament. Every knockout stage game that he played, he was the best player on the pitch. He has reached legend status.
Yes.
And funny enough, right, I'm happy that he mentioned legend status, because when we talk about the people who won the Champions League for us in 2012, we can name so many legends there. And this is more of a prediction now. I just want to spice it up a little bit. This is more of a prediction. But in this team that have won the Champions League now, who can we say that we see going on to staying at the club, one, and becoming of that legendary status? So I'll start very easily so I can take it out of your hands. Aspilicueta, Kante, those two for me. Jem, what about you?
In terms of longevity, if they stay at the club, I'm going to say Kai Havertz. That's my trump card.
What about you, David?
As I think one conversation that hasn't been had yet, Aspi's got to be considered as the best right back to ever play in the Prem.
Oh, David, we'll come into it.
I was going to say, because for me, like, he's such an underrated fullback. Man plays he's played everywhere. He's ridiculous.
Everywhere.
But come to legends. You know what? I'm going to go against the grain in it. I'm going to say Mason. He is future Chelsea captain. Genuine. After Saturday, I've deep life a bit. I know Mason took my gal, but it's cool now. We're cool. I do see that he is going to be a Chelsea captain. I do see it in him, and I really think this like core squad has like a really long way to go in terms of what they can win. So I'd say him and Reece James. Reece James is like, I play fullback personally. If I could play football like Reece James, I'll be so happy. He's everything. He's everything. Like defensive, attacking. He's got the strength. He's got the composure. He's got a great touch, cross the field ball. Like, yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah.
So yours are Mason Mount and Reece James, yeah?
Yeah.
What about you, Daniel? You cannot pick anyone that we've chosen. I want to make this spicy.
Team
up.
The Havertz one, I actually don't think he stays long enough. I foresee us selling him for like 120.
That's why I said if he stays long enough. That status.
I feel like we make him that good that we sell him for a mad profit. But who would I go with?
Like Eden Hazard, maybe.
Yeah, a bit like that. To be fair, he could.
Hazard's a legend, don't he?
Yeah.
How long did he got in his contract? 5 years, right?
Yeah, he signed a big deal. So yeah, he can do it. He can
do it. But go on. Good for you.
Ben Chilwell. I think Chilwell is going to be our left back for a long time. I think both our fullbacks are set for a long time. Reece James, Ben Chilwell. So yeah, Ben Chilwell, I'd say, since someone's mentioned Reece James, innit?
Man said Ashley Cole flex, because I haven't seen a good left back since Ashley Cole in our team.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually been...
We've had some stinkers, Bubba Rahman. We've had some proper stinky guys.
Hey, I think he's still on our books, I actually still think he's on our books.
He is. We're going to sell him.
We sold him for like 8 mil. I want to say we sold him for like 7 mil, 8 mil. That's what I want to say.
I'm so sure he was in the
I mean, he's got lost in the lone army, as we call it. Lost in the lone army.
Lord knows, but do you know what's so nice? It's nice to see that a lot of people are changing their minds on Ben Chilwell. Because you remember at the start of the season, a lot of people were not sold. And rightfully so. Like, he came from Leicester. A lot of people didn't really rate him at Leicester. Then he comes to Chelsea for a 50 million price tag, and everyone's looking at him like, you've got to turn up. But really and truly, for me, it was, you just got to be better than Marcus Alonso. Like, you just got to be better than him. And you know what I mean? And then we can... But then, obviously, Tuchel came, the whole wing-back conundrum. And it seems like he's really pulled through as a right wing-back and left wing-back. And it'll be interesting to see if he can transfer his talents into this England team. And if he does, and if he stays with us for years to come, I see him being a legend as well. That one there was a good shout. But the comment I'm looking at right now from Who Knows 20, Glazers Out, LOL, support the movement, Glazers Out. KJ, I hope you're watching. He says Callum Hudson-Odoi and Tammy. Now, Tammy is a bit more straightforward because I'm sure we all agree here that it's time for him to go, probably to move on. Obviously, for circumstances out of his hands. But then we look at Callum Hudson-Odoi, and this kind of goes into the players out and the players that are coming in. And Callum Hudson-Odoi, being one of our own, having helped us get to this Champions League final, we might see him leave this season. And I know a lot of us supported him, and I'm going to go to the one person who didn't really care too tough, Jem. I'm going to go to you. But do you think that we can prolong Callum's career at Chelsea, or is it not needed, or should we just move him on? What do you think?
Man, I'm surrounded by show lovers here, and I'm not against him. So whatever I'm about to say, do not think that I don't like Callum Hudson-Odoi, because that's not the case. Yeah. But for me, the thing I worry with Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I've said this for a number of years now, is his progression. Is he going to be given the opportunities, the minutes? And we all know that he's technically gifted. We all know that he's great with the ball. He dribbles well. He's got pace. He's a good player. He's a good all-round player. The thing I just don't understand with Callum Hudson-Odoi is why the managers just don't see that. And it's a little bit weird. I feel like it's more of an attitude thing, a mentality thing. It must be something he's doing off the pitch. It doesn't make sense how Ziyech dropped stinkers, Pulisic dropped stinkers. Havertz has been in and out with injuries, so he's not really been around. But yet he's still been very reluctant to use Callum Hudson-Odoi. And people like Frank Lampard, when Frank Lampard wasn't playing him and was playing Mason Mount on the left wing, on the right wing, whatever, people were saying he doesn't know what he's doing. It's because he lacks experience, etc., etc. But Tuchel's come in, and Tuchel's not all right. He's played games in and out. He gave him, I think, 2 or 3 games in a row, and then he just completely cut him out again. I remember he came on for someone and then got taken off again as well at one point. And I don't really get the whole situation with Callum Hudson-Odoi. And I feel if I was Callum Hudson-Odoi, I would really deeply sit down with my manager and the board and just say, look, am I going to get the minutes? Because at the moment, I feel like I'm just going to fizz out here. And in all fairness, if it means him having to leave and progress and become the player he's going to become, I hope he doesn't do a De Bruyne and Salah on us, but goes and becomes the player he does, then he needs to do what's best for him. The only other option we've got is to loan him out. But if you loan him out, then we need to be able to bring someone else in, because we haven't got enough wingers. So for me, it's a tough one because I like Callum Hudson-Odoi, but at the same time, I don't think he should be staying at our club if we're not going to give him the opportunities he deserves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Daniel, obviously coming to you because you really like Callum Hudson-Odoi. You want to see him blow and you want to see him shine. But do you think maybe it's time that Chelsea fans, give up this hope of Callum staying at Chelsea and Callum becoming that star boy at Chelsea and just let him go elsewhere?
I think from a selfish point of view, it will be a mistake to sell Callum. You look at even his output this season in the limited time, he has more assists than Ziyech and Pulisic, like this season. And in terms of goals, they've got 1 more goal than him in all comps as well. I think they both have 6 goals, Ziyech and Pulisic, and Callum has 5 goals in those limited minutes. So for me, it's a no-brainer to keep Callum. Like, I think he's one of our best creators. We haven't seen it yet. A lot of people might disagree. Everyone knows that I'm a Callum stan. I think he's one of the best young boys in the Premier League as well. Like, if we want to talk about agendas, I mean, everyone's got their guy in it, and Callum's my guy, and I love him to bits, innit? So I think it's a bit unfair. But then at the same time, look, the club is winning, and I just think he himself, like, I honestly believe, and people are going to disagree, people are going to laugh at me, but I believe if you put him in a Dortmund situation, he'll be on the same level as Sancho. Let's remember, this is someone that, out of his age group, he was seen as number 1, so above Sancho, above everyone else. Like, when he was coming through, he was seen as the special guy. And Chelsea was the perfect place for him to be, but that's if he was going to get the right amount of minutes. Sarri was bullied into playing Callum. Like, he wasn't trying to play him. Sarri was bullied. And the funny thing is, in that Europa League season, I think Callum even finished with the most assists. I don't know in the competition, but
I think he got like 6 assists in the Europa League or something.
Yeah, in that campaign, and he showed his quality. And then Lampard always used to bring on Callum to back him, to save his ass so many times. Even in games where it was done, Callum would be one of the prime creators. I remember against Arsenal, he came on and got us a goal in that game and almost got us the penalty. You remember against Fulham as well, where we scored that last minute goal. It was when Callum came on. So things like that. And even, Man City as well, Callum came on and changed that. So he's got all the potential in the world. But again, for him, innit, when I think about next season, if we stick with this formation and we buy a striker, that's another spot that goes for him in terms of the pecking order. And it just, I mean, Tuchel did say, he's come out and said he's in his plans next year, and he wants Callum to stay. But it's just unrealistic for Callum, in my opinion, and for his development to have a season like he did this year. It just wouldn't be good for him, in my opinion. No way.
Yeah. And obviously, like, let me just quickly just do some housekeeping. We do see your comments, people in the comments, and, you know, Football Terrorists wouldn't be here without you lots in the comments. So keep your comments coming in. I'm looking at them and I'm sipping on my juice. Like, you guys, a couple of you City fans, I think there was a City fan here earlier being very shameless, saying, oh, you guys are still celebrating the Champions League. You're damn right. We are. And we're probably going to be next season.
Even till during the season, even if we're in 7th place, I know we won't be, but even if we are, we're still singing that song. Champions League.
Can I just say one thing? And this is to rivals. We understand it because we're Chelsea fans, but you guys don't. So I'm going to have to explain this to you and break this down in your heads. Yeah? All right? Kings of Europe means what? We're the best in England. We're the best in Spain. We're the best in France. We're the best in Germany. Yeah? We are the dog's bollocks. That's what we are. Yeah? You can't say anything to our football club. And if we want to gas our club up because we're the Kings of Europe, we will continue to do that until it's taken away from us. And soon we're going to hopefully be the champions of the world as well. So just remember that and just eat that, man.
The way those Liverpool fans were gassing up that World Cup trophy. Them man are done for.
Liverpool fans, they did it worse than us. You guys are lucky. You lot are lucky. Because if this was a generation, like, I'm being honest here, if this was a generation where Hazard was there, where Diego Costa and Fabregas were there, it will be 50 times worse. I'm going to tell you that for free. It will be 50 times worse for me personally anyway. But hey, let me get onto some super chats just really quickly. C says, I see Christian Pulisic leaving. Listen, we're going to come to that one. We're going to come to that one. But Joe, before we get to that one, guys in the comments, do you guys see Pulisic leaving as well? And most importantly, do you think he's worth staying? Like, we've spoken about Callum. We've said Callum should go, considering the fact that we're not going to play him. But Christian Pulisic has had a fugazi season, and that's something that needs to be discussed. I'm gonna tell y'all that for free. You guys are lucky I don't have that much time here today, because I will go ham on Christian Pulisic right there and then. Adam saying, I am a United fan, and listening to you lot talk about Kante, it sounds like you rate him over Makalele, who I think is top 2 holding mid of all time. Now, that's a very interesting topic that's been going on around football Twitter, and it's going on debates on like BT Sports, Sky Sports, and it's been spoken about quite a bit. Has Kante surpassed Makalele in terms of legendary status?
Let me tell you now, he has, for one. They're not the same. They didn't play the same position, but Kante is better than Makalele. That's not even up for debate. I understand Makalele made the role his own, but even Makalele has come out and said himself that Kante is better than him. So if the guy himself is saying it, who are we to disagree? And then on top of that, look, it's even surpassed that for me. I think when we're talking about, and I've said it on so many streams, when we're talking about importance to a title-winning team, importance to your team, how good they are, Kante is more important to your team than Scholes, Lampard, and Gerrard. He's more important to your team than all 3 of them. So I'm like, Kante, when we're talking about when it's all said and done, he needs to be in the conversation when you're making your Premier League exercise.
Can I just ask just one question quickly? Are you saying that Kante, and I'm just speculating here, is better than Steven Gerrard?
I didn't say better. I just said more important. He's more important to the team.
I'm saying he is. I'm saying he is.
What's your reasoning behind Kante being better than Steven Gerrard?
I mean, he's won everything. It's that simple. Like, No, the thing is, it's not like he's won everything and done nothing. He's not like Benjamin Mendy or like Raheem Brewster in the barber chair with his freaking medal. Like, yeah, look at me. No, he's been the main guy in every single like trophy he's won, and as Graham Souness said, famous Liverpool legend, put your medals on the table. When Kante puts medal on table, who can chat? No one can really chat to man. So for me, gonna have to go in above Gerrard. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What about you,
Jem, if you want to win a league title and they're all standing right in front of you, who are you taking first?
What, in terms of Gerrard and N'Golo
Kante?
Gerrard and Kante.
You don't even ask me that twice, man. N'Golo Kante. Do you know what I mean? Like,
there we
I'm
go.
be brutally honest. Do you know what I mean? Look, you don't. Chelsea bought this boy from Leicester in his first season, and I actually think it's to do with him as well, along with maybe some other individuals, but mainly him. We go and win a title, and that was because that's how much of an influence that this one player has on his team. It's not my fault that Steven Gerrard didn't decide to sign to Chelsea when he should have, when Jose Mourinho wanted him, because potentially if he did, maybe he would have won something. He decided to stick with Liverpool, and he decided to not win anything other than the Champions Leagues, no Premier League, shall I say. So N'Golo Kante is the all-round better midfielder in terms of what he gives you, in my eyes. And in terms of the Claude Makalele and N'Golo Kante situation, I refuse to compare them to each other. They're just so chalk and cheese to me. Like, it's unfair, and they're both quality in their own merits. They don't deserve to be compared in any way, in my eyes. So I'll keep.
Listen, guys, we're gonna leave this up to you. Yeah. So obviously, I'm gonna tell Terry. Maybe tomorrow will come out. Maybe tonight. I don't know. But we'll have a poll. If there is one last midfielder you can put in your Premier League all-time 11, and it's between Steven Gerrard, Makalele, or Kante, we all acknowledge that they play different roles. We acknowledge this already. But who are you taking? Let us know, and hopefully there'll be a poll out somewhere. I don't know. And also let us know, is Kante a bigger legend for Chelsea than Makalele? Obviously, that's a bit of a debate, because if I have that debate with my dad will probably slap my face. Like, my dad will probably be like, how are you disrespecting Makalele like this? You know what I mean? But at the same time, there's good grounds to say that Kante is more of a legend than Makalele at this moment in time. Right, guys, we've actually covered quite a bit, and I'm clocked that I'm just going over time. So I'm just going to quickly ask individually, and then we can debate after, right? Let's just do this quick fire, right? Jem, 2 players you want to see out of Chelsea this summer, and why?
Tammy Abraham, because I don't see any use of him. I don't think he's good enough for Chelsea. I think he deserves to be playing not in a top 6 team, potentially. He can stay in the Premier League, but in a mid-table team, I still think he's an okay striker, but I just don't think he's a Chelsea-level striker. That's just my honest opinion. Okay. And it's between, I'd say, Kepa and Alonso, really, to be honest. But Alonso, because he's a fucking snail, and he's just not good enough. I know his performances have been better under Tuchel, and people would say that he's improved. He's just still not the level. He's not the player that you need to cut when you want competition with Chilwell. He's not the player. He's just the levels are just too big for me. So I think Alonso probably more than Kepa, actually, just for that reason, because I feel like we need to strengthen in that area with Chilwell. Yeah.
And David, what about you?
Do you want 2 other players, preferably?
Preferably, but if you can't name 2 other players, I'll take. I know it might be Kepa or Alonso for you.
No. I'm getting rid of Loftus-Cheek. That man did not register a goal or an assist for Fulham.
That is fair.
Yeah, he's got to go.
True.
And on top of that, I want to see Billy Gilmore go on loan. I don't think he's going to get enough minutes. So I want to see him go out on loan. He needs to get experience, because with his size and his stature, like, he can't just come into games and just boss them. He's going to need to learn how to maneuver his body and so on. So he's got to go out on loan and learn his trade properly. So
you're not necessarily saying like we should sell him or options.
No. I think there's definitely a player in there. You just need to give him the minutes so we can see what kind of player he actually is.
Yeah. First and foremost, guys, if you guys were rocking with us from episode 1, I need you guys to put do you see the prayer emoji? Chelsea fans, put the prayer emoji in the chat. Pray for the God damn rivals. Pray for the rivals every time. Monster started that line. Monster got cooked for that line. And now redemption season. Pray for the rivals. Big up Monster, of course, every single time. But Daniel, going on to you. 2 players you want to see out this season?
Joe, I'm not going to make it hard. Alonso, his time's done. He's been a good servant, but he's had his lows. He's had his highs, but he's had his real lows, and especially, fair enough, yeah, the wing back thing. Everyone says he's a good wing back, but I'm just tired of seeing him in the team. He doesn't. Conte really got the best out of him, but he doesn't deserve to play for this club, man. I'm sorry. Alonso is going to be playing for us, and Kepa, man. If you can get rid of Kepa, that's good. That's great stuff. You get rid of the wages. You just get rid of him, man. Like he's been a disappointing signing for sure.
I feel like everyone's copping out with the backup players, you know. Everyone's copping out with Alonso and Kepa and man even brought Ruben Loftus-Cheek into it. Why hasn't anyone spoken about Christian Pulisic? Why? Wait.
Don't do this.
I'm not saying I want him out. But someone give me a good enough argument to keep Christian Pulisic in this team.
I'd sell Ziyech before I sell Pulisic.
Yeah, 100%.
And you'd be angry. You're going to be angry at that. But the ceiling for both players, you just have to factor it in. Look, the reason why I wouldn't sell Pulisic, I understand he's been disappointing. Pulisic has shown me he can get double digits in a short amount of time. And so I have to factor that in. He's only 21. He's flipping younger than me. So I have to factor in that he's got a ceiling there. I know he's had a disappointing season, but yeah, Ziyech was bought in his prime. We expected to see a great Ziyech from day one, and that hasn't happened. Obviously, I'm still willing to give him another season, but at the end of the day, when you're comparing the two, when Ziyech is supposed to be our big game player, look, you have to look at Tuchel as well, the coach, because who did he bring on in the Champions League final? He brought on Pulisic. Do you know what I'm saying? That tells me a lot as well. It tells me his.
Why was Hakim Ziyech brought into this team? And I'll tell you what he was brought in to do in this team: assist, create. Yeah, when Timo Werner's your top assister, which just still doesn't make sense to me how he's our top assister. Anyway.
But when Jorginho is your top goal scorer, anything can happen.
And on top of that, just to make it worse, none of our players have hit double digits as well, which is even more weird that we've got Champions League and none of our players hit double digits whatsoever. I mean, Hakim Ziyech, I agree with Dan. I'd give him another season, but if I was put on the spot to say Pulisic or Ziyech to go, I'm getting rid of Ziyech. I'm keeping Christian Pulisic.
How are we champions of Europe and not one of our players scored 10 goals in Premier?
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think that's ever happened in history.
When you look at the list of players who have scored more goals than us, it's embarrassing. Got man like Chris Wood, Patrick Bamford, Ollie Watkins, Gundogan, Gareth Bale.
Bamford got 17 goals or something this season.
And Antonio, even Benteke, Souček. These men are getting double-digit goals, and we can't get one guy. It's pain.
It's always all about the team. Do you know what I hate? Yeah, when everyone in Manchester City was scoring goals, when you had Gundogan, Foden, Mahrez, Sterling, everyone scoring goals, everyone said, this is such a great unit as a collective. Who can stop this team? But when everyone in Chelsea is scoring goals, it's not the same energy. That may sound shameless, but everyone's scoring goals in our team. No one wants to give us that energy. I ain't happy about it.
Joe Willock got 8.
Please stop comparing. We're champions of Europe. Stop comparing. It was a good team effort.
Team effort.
That's all it was.
It's a good team effort. If we can praise Manchester City for their team effort without a striker, we can praise our boys too. Do you understand?
Zuma's probably top 5 in our top goal scorers.
I think you're top 3.
Because Zuma got 5, Timo got 6, Mason got 6, Tammy got 6, Jorginho got 7.
There we go. Can you see how many of the variety of players? Yeah,
Jorginho got 7 penalties and he's our top goal scorer.
At least he's converting all of those penalties. You know,
true.
at least he's doing that. At least we didn't have, you know, him doing silly Panenkas like Aguero. Do you understand that? At least we're doing something with it. There are so many super chats that I've missed. I do apologize, guys. This is coming from way back, but Lamin says, how many league titles did Gerrard win? I'm not gonna go with that because I do like Rangers, so I'm gonna leave that there.
Mhm.
But Jem kindly gave you the answer.
I'm not blind.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I know I've missed quite a few super chats, but don't worry. Like, I see you. But if you did put in a super chat, look at this. Everyone's proper putting up the prayer emoji. Listen, pray for the rivals next season. Pray for the rivals. David, listen. If there's one person that you're taking out of the team, and not any of the cop-outs, because we all know that our forwards haven't been delivering. Midfielders as well, like obviously you said Billy Gilmore, but our forwards, defenders, because a lot of people were chatting about our defenders, saying that we need to get Varane in, whatever. Who you taking out? Because apparently we need a striker and we need a winger to accommodate this. People have to leave. Apparently we need a centre back as well. People have to leave. Who are these people?
I think you might have to look at Jorginho. I'm not going to lie. He's very good in certain games, but there are other games where he's not the greatest. And we've got Kovacic who's kind of like the opposite to him, but we don't really have like a creator from like a deeper midfield role. Because most of our attacks come from like the wing, and then it's like a cutback, which I said under Lampard when everyone was crossing, I said, you know, we'll be better if we did cutbacks, but no one wanted to mention that. But anyway, if we have a bit of a deeper creator, that'd be helpful. I'm not sure who that would be, but it'd be helpful. But it's not the biggest thing. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I am one of these people. Even though I like the story of Mendy,
Dave.
Donnarumma. I think Donnarumma's I think he's an up. I'm not gonna. I think he's an upgrade. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's an. No.
Anyway, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Why are we creating problems when we don't need to create problems? The guys just won the Champions League and kept the most clean sheets.
You say that though. You say that though, but then everyone's so willing to. This is what I'm saying. Like when Jorginho isn't spoken about, that's when he's at his best, and that's what I'm saying. Like he ended the Champions League with the most interceptions, most tackles, most ball recoveries. It's those little things that you just don't see. You can't have. There's a reason why Fabregas didn't start under Kante, because in the twin system, he just didn't want a creator in as his six. That's what he didn't want that, because he didn't need that. The point is, when we got sixes like that, unless you can give me another player in Europe who can do Jorginho's role better, but also be as mobile, then I'm not hearing it, because what Jorginho does provide to this team, it's not easily replaceable. I understand Jorginho has his bad days. I already know this, but so do everyone else. And one thing is for certain, Kovacic and Kante isn't the greatest six.
No,
it don't work. It don't work.
Jorginho doesn't have to leave the football club. Jorginho Wait. Jorginho can still be a part of this football club. Do we still need the DM, or do we need backup in that area? I think we do. I don't think Kovacic, Kante, and Jorginho is the answer. I don't think Jorginho is the long-term answer. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't say sell him. You know
to answer your question, I think we need an alternative. So we have Kovacic and Kante, who arguably are similar enough, not entirely similar, but they have similar qualities. If we could get Verratti, I'm sure Roman would have brought him on a yacht already. But
you want to play Kante and Verratti in midfield? What, against Burnley? Against Burnley? Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
No, obviously, but Verratti is a shout to get in. But I'm bringing it back to what I was saying at the start of the season. One Declan Rice will probably fit into this team.
No, but again, I don't have a problem with Declan Rice. I really don't. It's just the price. It's the price. It's the same price thing. It's the Chilwell thing. It's the Chilwell. I know Chilwell's not a bad player, but when it was touted at 80 mil, I was like, no, he's not an 80 mil player. Which is why, again, personally, I don't think Donnarumma's a bad shout, because when he's free, because all I'm saying about Mendy, when you talk about ceilings, I don't think Mendy's really going to get much better. So if I bring in Donnarumma at 22, he's made 200 plus appearances at AC Milan. Then when Mendy, starts moving 30, 31, 32, then we can move him in, and it's all good. Now we've got already made replacements.
Donnarumma don't come in to be benched. He's going to want to start.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't David. It's disrespectful because this isn't Czech Courtois where Czech is on his way out.
No.
And one thing you need to deep as well. You might say Donnarumma is the better shot stopper, but Donnarumma's distribution is dead. Like he's not a good a distributor as Mendy, whose distribution, like I said, is underrated. And I said that every one of you laughed, and then Mendy is the one who started that goal for Havertz. Let me just remind you, he was under pressure, played the ball to Chilwell, and
he's improved is the word, Dan, because he wasn't rigid.
No. When he first came in, man was a bit flat.
But he's improved
for someone of his stature. And also
the
stereotype
of, as well. Look who's coaching.
No facts. But also the stereotype of a black keeper. He's put that in the bin. Like he is the goalkeeper. He is the goalkeeper that has the record for the least amount of goals conceded in the Champions League. He saved 31 of 34 shots. Are you taking a piss? Why do you need Donnarumma?
Why do you need Donnarumma?
You're not even.
I'm just talking about ceilings. Just ceilings.
Hey, David, there's more to add to that as well. This guy has made so many clutch saves this season as well. I mean, saves where I'm like, oh my God, how has he done that? And I haven't seen a goalie do that in a very long time at Chelsea. I'm not joking. Like he deserves another season, and if he continues like he did in the way that he did this season, there's no reason for us to go.
I'm not saying it's 100 like Donnarumma is an absolute must. I'm just putting it out. I'm just putting it out there.
I don't even think
if it gets slapped back, that's cool. I'm not against it. Yeah, I'm not going to complain about Mendy being.
In terms of players going out, I can probably name you about 8 or 9. Yeah, so we get rid of Emerson, we get rid of Alonso, we get rid of Tammy Abraham. Giroud's probably going to go. Ruben Loftus-Cheek can disappear. Barkley's going to go. We're probably going to have to sell a defender at some point because
Bakayoko's on his way.
So it'd probably be Kurt Zuma because he does not suit the model of what Tuchel's doing. Zappa Costa's gone. Yeah, or was going. There's 2 more. Right. I'm at 8.
Bakayoko and Batshuayi,
Bakayoko's going, 9, and Batshuayi,
From all of that, what I get from that is that we need a new backup goalkeeper. We also need a new potential right back, left back, as to back up Reece James.
I hear that.
Yeah, that's why the Hakimi rumors today.
Yeah, that's why people are getting
Hakimi as backup.
Yeah, a lot of people want Hakimi, but Hakimi won't be backing up.
He's going to want to start.
No, but what they're saying is obviously it'll be the transition for Aspi to be on the bench. Reece James to go
back 3 and you put him at right. Yeah, I see that. I like that.
That makes sense.
That as well because Aspi can actually be back up, and he will be happy to do that role as well.
And also, he can fill in at centre back as well.
Exactly.
He does also have that as well.
What's your alternative?
You go for a Traore, who, let's be serious, doesn't start every game, likes to be benched anyway, and he could be
I
think me and David are on the same lines, man.
A lot of talk about Adama Traore coming to Chelsea and playing a right wing-back role at our club. Do you not think Tuchel...
I think Tuchel will improve him. That's
what I was about to say.
I just don't want another player that doesn't have end product at this team. Like, we don't need another one of those players with no end product. I do think Tuchel can improve him, but I don't know, man.
Again, if we had like a big target man, like if we did bring in Harry Kane, I could see I could see the argument for Adama because when he had Jimenez, they were banging. It was different. But when wing back now with Timo Werner up, no, I don't need them. Them two can't play football. They can't play football.
Like this, right? You got say we go and buy Lukaku, right? You got Lukaku up front. You got Adama on the right, and you got Reece James as your right centre back. That is the biggest beast of a squad I have ever seen in my life.
No one's going to win through that powerhouse. 50-50s, we got unlocked, but 50-50s like don't win your game. They don't win you the game.
Sorry. Let's keep that one stepping. Let's keep that one stepping. But let me read out some more super chats and do some housekeeping. Listen, over 1,100 of you have been watching consistently. Like that's flipping amazing. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you join the chat in the chat right now. You lot are going nuts, but I absolutely love the conversation you guys are having in the chat. It's flipping amazing. Make sure you sign up to our Discord. Make sure you become a member. All of that good stuff. Let's keep things going with the channel, and I'm sure you guys like the direction the channel's going. If you're just tuning in and you've never watched the Chelsea show before, this is that Chelsea show. These are the familiar faces that you will be seeing on that Chelsea show because, well, I ain't gonna brag, but we're the best Chelsea show out there or whatever, but I ain't gonna brag on nothing. But yeah, so moving swiftly on, Centurions 100 points. He says, congratulations for your win, but I honestly think Pep messed us up. Oh, Pep messed us up big time. Why do you say City to hijack Lukaku deal? We are coming to the Lukaku conversation, my dear. Saving the best till last, my darling. A lot of people in the chat really want Verratti to come. Oh, there's big shouts for Ruben Neves as well.
No, get rid of that.
Paredes.
No,
Paredes.
No.
I like Paredes though, but no.
Paredes is okay.
Bryce.
Fam,
Again,
Paredes
Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves is
under
coming
Herrera. Under Herrera. No. I like the shout of Fabian Ruiz, but
yeah.
That was like if it was last year, I would have been on it, but this year he had a bit of a down year. So
of course, we've got ads, big up ads from GNATV. That is Gem's channel. So all 1,000 of you, make sure you check out GNATV. Make sure you like and subscribe their content as well. Ads says, big up to the panel and that pineapple too. If you don't know who the pineapple is,
who's that?
I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names, but it might be this guy over here.
One sexy pineapple, though, I'll give you that. But anyway,
people are saying Camavinga, Ruiz.
Too many.
There's what'd you say? Too many. Thank you for actually putting that out.
As well. Kessie.
Who?
What, Kessie? Yeah,
Kessie.
I feel like people
the
just
ideal.
People,
there's a lot of people like Matisse as well, like on the MAH show. He says, "Bring me Marquinhos." If Marquinhos can leave PSG and come to Chelsea, I will welcome him with open arms.
That's a rule. PSG do not sell their best players. When have you ever seen PSG sell any of their best players? They just don't do it. So
they do not. These are guys. Thank you for getting involved in the comments. These are all quality names, but if there's one that's a realistic target, it's probably maybe a Declan Rice. I'm surprised there's not a B name that Daniel's mentioned yet. Thank God he's gone. But that B name that Daniel mentioned.
Basuma.
The B name?
Basuma.
Me? Did I mention Basuma?
Was it Basuma that you mentioned? Was it not you?
Barella?
Oh, Barella. No, it's
Basuma. Daniel's saying that we should get Basuma.
Nah, it wouldn't have been me. Come on, man.
Basuma's
not even my top three. But I do think though that we can take advantage of the Tuchel's knowledge of the French league. That's why I think Tchouaméni is a good option. Because I know he's watched him, and he apparently Tchouaméni is a backup to Declan Rice. Look, at the end of the day, I think I'm at the set where I fully trust in Tuchel. So any players he brings in, I'm gonna back them in it, and I just trust Tuchel will know how to utilize them. So yeah, man, I'm down for whoever.
And of course, guys, whilst we're still on the topic of players out and players in, many of you are asking why, has this been named Man City to hijack the Lukaku deal? Oh, yeah, okay, cool. So basically, what has happened is, you see how Terry is one of the big dogs now. Basically, Terry gets inside information now, innit? So Terry is obviously laid down the drop that Chelsea do want Lukaku, and obviously we've got big what's it called? Accredited journalists, accredited journalists who are saying this, such as Dean Jones. And Lukaku does look set to come to Chelsea. However, Manchester City are able to pay the wages that Lukaku wants, and it's looking like Man City may be in for this Lukaku deal. But assuming we are in for Lukaku, is this something that you as Chelsea fans in the comments want to see? Would you rather have Lukaku up front than one Timo Werner or possibly Kai Havertz next season? If that's who you'd rather see, please let us know in the comments. But Jem seems to have a whole think piece on there. So for the last couple of minutes, let's hear what Jem has to say. And again, thank you to the 1,100 of you watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. Look, Copy what this guy's done. Copy what Joseph has done and become a YouTube member. Make sure you do that. But yeah, I'm gonna pass it on to Jem. Jem, what's your thoughts on this Lukaku deal? Let's make this snappy.
All right, cool. We're gonna keep it short and sweet. Well, I'll try to anyway. But you guys, you're on the same level as me. Do you actually want Lukaku?
No.
Are you happy that Lukaku's coming above him? I just want to know if you're on the same level before I say what I'm going to say.
No, I'm happy. I am happy. If we look, at the end of the day, there are 3 strikers. Because I've already said that if we can't get any of these 3 strikers, we should go into next season with what we have, in my opinion, innit?
Right, what's what I was going to say, right?
Lukaku's part of them.
Yeah. So look, I'm going to do this. You can join me if you want, yeah? But I'm going to say, I'm going to just say something straight up. I solemnly swear, yeah, that I will not ever gas any strikers that come to the Premier League and play for Chelsea until proven. And the reason I say that...
Wait, hold on. I solemnly swear... I'm playing. Go on, why'd you say that?
The reason I say that is because the last striker to come to our football club and become successful was Diego Costa, which was how many years ago? 6, 7 years ago. Chelsea and strikers do not mix. I don't care if they've scored 30 goals in other leagues, or in Lukaku's case, he scored nearly 60 goals in 2 seasons in the Italian league. I do not care what stats you put forward on the table. Until they wear that shirt, until they can show us that they can put 20 to 30 goals a season away, I am not going to get overly gassed about strikers coming to this football club. And that's my honest opinion of it, because it just doesn't work for us. For whatever reasons, I don't get it. It doesn't matter if it's a big name. You've seen them. Falcao, Higuain, all of these guys, Fernando Torres, all these guys with big names, big reputations have came to our club, and they've not done the goods. They've just not been good enough. Yes, Lukaku's proven. I get that. Yes, he was very good at West Brom. Yes, he was good at Everton. But in terms of Man United, was he great? I remember him getting slated for his touch. I know a lot of people are going to say his touch has improved in Italy. I'm just really reserved with it. I just feel like if he's going to come to us, cool. We need someone to put the goals in the back of net, and his stats show that he does that. But until he actually does it, I'm not going to be jumping around getting excited about the situation.
Daniel. Oh no, go on, David. If you're ready to go, you go.
I was going to say, I personally would rather go for like an older striker just for this season, like a 1-year contract thing, and then go big for Haaland next year than get Lukaku now. Personally, because I know it's funny. Yes, Werner misses a lot of chances. He's awful at football. Yes, I get it, but I don't think he's going to have an historically as bad season when it comes to finishing next season as he did this season. So I'd rather try get an older striker with a bit more experience and hope that Werner improves his finishing rather than get Lukaku and not really work out to the best and then miss out on Haaland completely. Because if we get Lukaku, there's no chance of Haaland at all. It doesn't happen. And I'd rather try and get him like as a chance than definitely get Lukaku. That's me.
Go on, Daniel.
I would say my response to that is, if we don't get Haaland, it's because Haaland didn't want to come to Chelsea. I don't think there's a situation where we will miss out on Haaland because we don't want to pay the money right now or whatnot. And by the way, if we're getting Haaland, we're either getting Haaland or not getting him this year. Next year, when his release clause is about 70 mil, we're not getting Haaland. Trust me, we're not the first option. I think Real Madrid, Barcelona, you got teams there. These players tend to go to these teams, innit? But that's why I'm saying Lukaku is part of that list. I think you have to consider what he's been able to do. He's been a proven goal scorer. He's in elite company when it comes to Premier League records in terms of how young he was and how quick he got to 50 goals in the Premier League. He's part of elite company. I think he got to 50 goals quicker than Rooney, Henry, and some of these big players. So he's shown he's done it. I think the biggest question mark is, can he be a reliable goal scorer in the big games? And I think he's allowed to come in to Chelsea if we were to do that deal with that tag over his head. Players when they come to Chelsea shouldn't I'm actually more confident in the fact that Lukaku can come in and do well because he won't be instantly gassed. We will know that there's a question mark over his head and he will know that he needs to prove it. It's when guys don't have any question marks, they must be great. They have to do well. Torres, Shevchenko, Werner, they have to be this fantastic world beater. That's when they end up having poor seasons. So I think Lukaku coming to Chelsea isn't a bad thing. I think when you look at Tuchel's system as well, like you need someone who can finish. Lukaku won't miss as many chances as Werner has missed, for sure. And if you consider the chances that we create for our striker, Lukaku will score 20 goals, like easily in all comps, like easily. As in, like I can put any amount of money that Lukaku will score 20 goals in all comps. No, I would. I'm so sure of that, because when you look at his time,
winning in all comps is not bad.
In all comps. How many in the Prem then, Dan? If that's the
how many in the Prem? Minimum, he'd have to score 15, and I think he can get that. When you look at what
maybe Timo Werner can step it up and get to that team next season.
Again, what the advantage of bringing in like a genuine striker like Lukaku is that Werner will then go to his not preferred position, but he'll effectively play as a 2 up front with Lukaku and drift out left, not actually start out on the left. And one thing Lukaku will bring is extra time for Werner. So yes, I know his touch is, it's funny. His touch is bad. Oh, he's got donkey feet. It's cool. Yeah, I get it. But like, it's cool to have donkey feet when you've got an extra 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2 seconds on the ball, and you can, set yourself. Also, I think with the Lukaku there, he's going to drag out more defenders, and then Werner's going to,
run into space.
Yeah, Werner's movement with a lethal striker. That's what made him at Leipzig. Poulsen wasn't lethal, but he was more than serviceable. With a lethal striker and Werner's movement, it really could cause teams some serious problems.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. And one thing Lukaku's got as well is that he's got the thing of I want to prove everyone wrong.
Yeah,
that's the big thing. Yeah.
And you know what, Lukaku, Chelsea fans, he's a proper Chelsea. He is a proper Chelsea. He said it several times. Chelsea is his first team. It's his first love. He is a Chelsea fan. And I'm sure on Saturday he was celebrating just as hard as we were. So if we can bring him home, let's bring him home. But like David said, if we bring home Lukaku, forget about Haaland, forget about Kane, forget about everything. It's Lukaku or bust now, and that's it. But again, who's to say that Lukaku and Werner, their partnership, won't come to fruition and it won't work? Who's to say that? But then what does that mean for Kai Havertz?
No, I think Kai plays, but Kai also becomes the player who starts, but is also our backup striker. Like I don't mind going into the season.
It's
good problems to have, isn't it?
Pulisic? What happens to Ziyech? What happens to
Ziyech should be gone. See you later at that point. Yeah.
Assuming they all stay, it's all going to be a knock-on effect. And guys, we are out of time, but these questions that I'm asking right now, we're going to be answering them as much as we can during this transfer window. Of course, Euros, we're going to put that at the forefront. I'm on the football terrace at the moment, but after that, we're gonna be having it out on transfers, and we're gonna be having it out on who's gonna be starting for Chelsea this season. Listen, I'm not sure about the rest of the podcast. The Arsenal show, we've got that Tottenham show, we've got the Liverpool show. If they want to turn up after the season they've had, maybe we'll find some City fans. I don't know how this is gonna go, but one thing I can say is that we've got Midnight Vibes and we've got the Ladies show as well. But really quickly, for everyone who is new, this is That Chelsea Show. You can follow me at FLWN_ on all platforms. Obviously, I have a podcast called Gold Diggers UK, where a lot of ethnic minority women come together and talk about men's football. Everybody else, do your own introduction / exits. Oh yeah, Jem, you first.
Yeah, on Twitter, CFC_Jem. And then GNA TV. Yeah, GNA TV on YouTube. And we've also got a Instagram page, which we'll be doing a giveaway over there as well. So get following that GNA TV official.
And Daniel?
Daniel Bemiji on Twitter, BAMIJI. And for my articles, The Pride of London, fan-sided. So you can find some of my work in terms of my writing. And Eyes on the Ball TV as well in terms of podcasts and other stuff that I do. So yeah.
And David.
Not really a big socials person. You'll find me on the Football Terrace, obviously. I don't have Twitter, but I do have a burner account, and I haven't actually checked that on in a long time. So I'll go look at it after this show. Why don't you? It's called David's burner account. You'll find it.
You heard it here first, guys. Make sure you look everybody up. Make sure you go and subscribe to Jem's channel. Go and subscribe to Daniel's channel and read his stuff. Follow David's burner account or whatever. I don't know. But listen, like we said, Chelsea show is back. We're going to try and keep consistent with the content. I'm definitely, I can see you guys in the comments. I'm definitely Yoruba. I'm not Igbo, unfortunately. I'm a Yoruba babe. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you guys for staying with us. And again, listen, we've done it again. We've done it again. Champions of Europe. We've done it again. Listen, I ain't even sorry about that. I promise you that for free.